Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are learning English, you're in the right place. On this channel, we learn English through simple stories. Don't worry if your English is not perfect, it is just like any other language. With patience, practice, and consistency, you can learn it step by step. So relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the story. Today's story is about jealousy, regret, forgiveness, and a love that refused to disappear. It is the story of two sisters. One spent her life feeling forgotten. The other spent her life loving someone who could not see her worth. Let's begin. There was once a girl named Maya. For 16 years, Maya was the center of her parents' world. Every birthday was about her, every school achievement was celebrated, every family photo had Maya smiling in the middle. She never felt unloved. Until the day her sister was born. The baby was named Anaya. The entire family celebrated and Maya was excited too at first. But when Anaya turned 2 years old, the family discovered something heartbreaking. Anaya was blind. She would never see the faces of her parents, never see the sunrise, never see colors, never see her sister. From that day, everything changed. Doctor appointments, special schools, extra care, extra attention, extra concern. The family never loved Maya less, but Maya felt it. When her father rushed Anaya to therapy, Maya saw rejection. When her mother spent hours teaching Anaya's simple tasks, Maya saw favoritism. When relatives praised Anaya's courage, Maya felt invisible. And the worst part? Anaya adored Maya. Every morning she would ask, "Is Maya awake?" Every night she would say, "Good night, Maya." She followed her sister's voice everywhere. She trusted her completely. And somehow, that made Maya even more furious. When Anaya was 6, one of her teachers discovered something extraordinary. The little blind girl had an incredible memory. She could listen to a story once and repeat it almost perfectly. As she grew older, she learned to read and write using special tools for blind students. Soon she began writing short stories. Stories filled with hope, with wisdom, and with kindness. People were amazed. By age 10, local schools invited her to share her writings. By age 13, her articles were being published online. Her words touched hearts. Everyone talked about Anaya, the blind young author whose stories inspired thousands. Meanwhile, Maya dreamed of becoming a successful public speaker. She spent years practicing, entering competitions, working harder and harder. But no matter what she achieved, people always seemed more interested in Anaya. Every conversation ended with, "Your little sister is remarkable." And every compliment for Anaya felt like another wound to Maya. One evening, Anaya walked into Maya's room carrying a small wooden box. "Close your eyes," she giggled. Maya rolled her eyes. "What now?" Anaya placed the box in her hand. "I made something for you." Maya opened it and inside was a small silver bookmark. Nothing expensive, just handmade. Anaya smiled and said, "When you become successful, I want you to keep this inside your favorite book." Maya forced a smile and said thank you. But after Anaya left, she tossed the box into an old cupboard and forgot about it. A few weeks later, Maya made a decision, a terrible one she would regret for the rest of her life. She took Anaya to a huge railway station. "Are we getting ice cream?" Anaya asked happily. "Yes," Maya replied. Anaya held her hand tightly because she trusted her completely. They walked through crowds. Announcements echoed. People rushed past. Then Maya slowly loosened her grip and disappeared into the crowd. Anaya kept smiling, thinking her sister was nearby. "Maya?" No answer. "Maya?" The smile faded. "Maya?" Fear entered her voice, then panic. She began reaching for strangers, crying, calling her sister's name again and again and again. Maya watched from a distance and walked away. The family searched for years. Cops searched, volunteers searched. Nothing. Anaya had vanished. The loss destroyed their parents. Her father died carrying guilt. Her mother never stopped waiting. And Maya lived with a secret no one knew. But guilt slowly consumed her life. Her dreams never became reality. Relationships failed. Opportunities slipped away. Nothing ever seemed to bring her peace, because no matter where she went, she could never escape herself. 15 years later, Maya was 31 and she was struggling financially. One day she applied for a job at a well-known educational foundation. The foundation had been established by a respected educator who had dedicated her life to helping children. A few weeks later, Maya received the news that she had been hired. On her first day at work, she walked into the office and heard a voice that made her heart pause. A soft, gentle, and a familiar voice. The woman sat behind the desk wearing dark glasses and she was blind. The woman smiled and welcomed Maya. For weeks they worked together. The woman was kind, patient, generous, and every time Maya heard her laugh, something inside her trembled, as if a forgotten memory was trying to return. One evening after work, the woman asked Maya to stay. Then she quietly said, "Do you know why I hired you?" Maya shook her head. The woman smiled and said, "Because I knew who you were." Maya froze. The room became silent. Then the woman spoke the words she never expected to hear. "Hello, sister." Maya's heart stopped. "Anaya? Is that you?" Tears instantly filled Maya's eyes. She couldn't breathe, couldn't speak, couldn't move. After being separated at the station, Anaya had been found by an elderly teacher, a woman with no children. She adopted her, raised her, and encouraged her love for learning and writing. Years later, Anaya became one of the most respected authors and educators in the country. Her words brought hope to countless people. For years, Anaya searched for her birth family. Eventually, she found out the truth. Everything, including who had abandoned her. Maya fell to her knees, sobbing, begging for forgiveness, but Anaya asked only one question. A question that hurt more than any punishment. "Did you ever open my gift?" Maya looked confused and said, "What gift?" Anaya said, "The wooden box." Maya's face went pale. She hadn't thought about it in 15 years. Anaya smiled sadly and said, "I thought maybe if you opened it, you would know how much I loved you." That night, Maya rushed home. For hours, she searched through old belongings, old drawers, old shelves, old memories. Then she found it. The dusty wooden box. Her hands trembled. She opened it. Inside was the silver bookmark. But beneath it, there was a folded note. Written in large childish letters was a note Anaya had dictated to her mother because she couldn't write properly herself. It read, "Dear Maya, when I become a famous writer, I will buy you a big house. I will take care of Mom and Dad, and I will always stay with you. Because you are my favorite person in the whole world. Love, Anaya." A week later, Maya returned to Anaya, holding the old note. Maya couldn't stop crying. Anaya gently took her hand, the same hand that once let go, and said, "I lost my sight when I was born. But it seems like you lost your way." Tears rolled down Maya's face. Then Anaya smiled and said, "And people can find their way back." The two sisters embraced. Sometimes the people we envy are the same people who love us the most. And sometimes the greatest tragedy is not losing someone. It is failing to recognize their love until years have already passed. Cherish the people who care for you before time takes away the chance to tell them what they mean to you. Thank you for listening. I hope this story left you with something meaningful to reflect on and helped you improve your English along the way. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who loves inspiring stories or wants to practice English through storytelling. See you in the next story.